business is really warfare, but it's the activity of life itself. You say, well, business means I need to open up a business. Okay, yeah, that's right. But real activity of life has to deal with all the essentials of life that we must provide for ourselves, our families, our future. I have something in my pocket that, gee, where is it? Oh, yeah. I have a gold coin. In 1961, I was sitting with Elijah Muhammad, and he took out of his pocket a gold coin. This is 1 ounce of gold, pure gold, okay? Mr. Muhammad put it on the table. He said, one day soon, this gold coin will be the new medium of exchange. White people are moving into the inner city. Some of them knocking on doors. They come with money and they ask you for your gold. Because what they're giving you, I think I got some of that in my pocket. Yeah, I think I do. Now this is paper. This is not real money. This is real money. Silver as real money. Now you young people, some of the elders in the audience, like myself, this used to be called a silver certificate. How many old people in here know when this was a silver certificate? And you know what it said on the bottom? Pay to the bearer on demand $50 in silver, the real money. This is what you call monopoly money. Oh, you didn't hear me. We're going to do some business tonight. Because business is really warfare. What's about to happen? This week it came out in the news that in 2016, all the major banks are in trouble. It started with J.P. Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo. What makes a bank in trouble? When the value of the paper that they have begins to lose its value, then the bank is in serious trouble. And so are we who have our money in the bank. Now, white people that are in your neighborhood, they're in the pawn shop now, and they're telling you in the window, bring the gold, we got cash for you. They know you don't know that this is losing its value every day. But gold will increase in value. Now this one here, I bought it today, or sent a brother to get it today, because I wanted to use it to explain something. 1 ounce of gold, this little piece right here, is 12.
have taken Africa. Africa right now is gone. Do you know what they're doing? The Africans and third world countries want to develop. They don't have the money. So here comes the United States behind the IMF, the World Bank, Federal Reserve. Come, we'll give you some money. Here is $1 billion. And they hold that carrot out. Then they say, wait. You must devalue your currency. And just think of this for a minute. Devalue your currency. Now, what is current? Bring that picture out here, brother. What time is it?
These are 2 letters. Okay.
I'm almost there. Can you sit with me a few more minutes? I'd just like for you to, they're going to stand here and hold this. This is the serpent that has deceived the whole world. We'll get to him in just a minute. Stay right there, brothers. Now, currency, and current. Current is the flow of electricity from a source to that which receives it. And when that which receives current receives it, it is power to create motion, light, heat, and energy. To diminish the current is to diminish the power coming from the source, then less light, less heat, less energy, less motion. So when the IMF says devalue your currency, they're literally weakening that nation's ability to provide strongly for itself. Now the IMF says after you devalue your currency, you must privatize. This is in the name of a global economy. You must privatize. Now look at this privatization. Privatize means you must sell off the things that government owns as representative of the people, so that private companies can buy your gold mines, your uranium, buy even your means of electricity, gas and water, so that outsiders now come in to buy, then they own the means of production of wealth in that country. So the whole country is working for the IMF, the World Bank, and behind the loan is America buying these people so that when she needs a vote in the United Nations, they will vote with her or punk out and abstain. Africa is gone. They're enslaved now by debt. You see new roads being built, but the price of the new road is that they've given up the gold. They've given up oil concessions. In Mexico, When America bailed out Mexico, they tied the bailout to Pemex, which is the oil producer in Mexico. But the Mexicans were smart. They paid the loan off, but still in debt. You know why Nigeria is a rogue state? Do you know why Libya is a rogue state? Do you know why China is not looked at too well? Listen, there are human rights violations in every country, including this one. That's not the reason that Nigeria is a rogue state. When have white people cared about black people killing each other? Listen to me. They say Abacha killed the Ogoni 9. That's all. We should put sanctions on him. He killed the Ogoni 9. Yeah? When have you cared? More than 9 may have died last night in Chicago. You haven't said anything about blacks killing each other. You're not in the ghettos trying to get us to be more humane. You know why they're saying that Nigeria is a rogue nation? Because Nigeria refuses to borrow any money from the IMF and the World Bank, and 40% of their staff in Nigeria had to go home because Nigeria refused to borrow any money from them. So when Nigeria refuses to borrow, then through careful manipulation of the economy, they can strengthen the Nigerian naira, its currency. Libya won't borrow no money from the IMF. China ain't borrowing any money. We're developing our economy. The IMF is the new slave maker, the World Bank. I talked with a highly placed banker in Saudi Arabia. When I mentioned this, that this is a form of slavery, he didn't deny it. He said, brother, we're only trying to diminish the effects. We don't know how to stop it. But suppose the Muslim world decided to tie their currency to gold so that they would not be the victim of a floating currency that can go up and down at somebody's whim. But if they tied it to gold as a stable anchor for currency, then they could break probably the back of these world serpents. I would like to see at least 100 millionaires among the Muslims in Chicago. If you're rich, I'm rich. And I can always come and tell you about the needs of a nation. But if you poor and we poor, we can't be around here poor. I want to see rich Muslims.
All right, family. Greetings, everyone. How's everyone doing? Glad that you can make it to this FARD Money Network Business Warfare broadcast, where we finna get to you some information that you can absolutely use. We are talking about news coming out of Iran in China. Russia in Iran, excuse me, but China is a player in this. Don't get it twisted, right? and it's dealing with Russia and Iran coming out and rolling out a gold-backed cryptocurrency. Now, we at FARD Money, we like to bring to us information that we can use. And since the controlled media is not talking about this, well, we're going to bring this information to you live straight from everywhere we got it from, because it's on multiple platforms, multiple news outlets that are talking about this. And this is a serious thing, especially for us in America. And we're going to go over how serious it is. So I wanted the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to open us up. But before we do that, let me give y'all the greetings. Assalamu alaikum. It means peace be unto you, wherever you might be tuning in, wherever you might be watching from. We thank you for supporting our channel. We thank you for being here so you can participate and you can see the information that we're bringing out, because this topic, it is a business is warfare topic. Make no mistake about it. So please go subscribe to our YouTube channel, FARD Money Network. Go subscribe to follow us on Instagram, FARD Money Network. Follow us on all social media platforms. You can follow me, FARD MacD. And we do have a ticker down at the bottom of the screen where you can participate, support the Nation of Islam, Muhammad Economic Blueprint. You can subscribe to the digital final call, the physical final call by texting FCN to 833-549-2079. And you also can get involved in Project Exodus 10,000, which is a decentralized blockchain banking program that we are a part of, and that we are making thousands of dollars per day using the blockchain as the vehicle to be able to get whatever we want financially. All right. So we always start these streams off, family, with the first thing that we go take a look at. Let's go and take a look at the United States debt clock. If you was here last Tuesday, we let the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the whole show, the whole broadcast, talk about the science of money, the science of business. So what we're doing, we want to take a look at the United States debt clock, because did you look at the United States debt clock in the last 7 days since we was here? Do you know how to get to the United States debt clock? Do you know what you're looking at if you're looking at the United States debt clock, right? Because this is some serious stuff right here, right? Peace to everybody. Peace to everybody. This is some serious stuff right here, right? So look at the United States national debt. Now, this is all connected to what Russia and Iran is trying to do, right? So when they roll this out, it's going to be bad. I think it's the last death blow to the dollar. So look at this. This is a scam right here. So you got the United States debt at $31,495 billion in counting. That's the national debt. Now, the national debt is what the citizens owe. So if you're a citizen in America, you are factored into this debt. You owe, not the government. You don't owe the government. The government owes the international bankers. So you owe the bankers. Yeah, you owe the bankers. That's where the taxes go. All right, so let's look at it. So per citizen, now everybody's a citizen if you have a social security number. If you're an American, you have a social security number, you are factored here. If you're an American, you don't have a social security number, then this is not talking about you. But most people in America have a social security number. If you have a social security number, you are factored into this debt, and it says that you owe $94,211, and they're going to get it out of you one way or another. Now, if you're a taxpayer, it goes even higher for you. So once you go and get that job, that's why we've been telling you jobs is a scam, because once you go and get that job, you go from owing just $94,000 so-called on this debt to now you owe $246,867. Wow. Then they say the United States federal spending, this is Joe Biden's administration, is $6 trillion. They say that the budget deficit is 1.3, nearly 1.4 trillion. But under here, they have actual. So what is this? Why do they got actual here that's kind of blurred out, but you can see it, but they got what they're spending up here official. So they say actual that the Joe Biden administration, which is the federal government, is at 6,172 billion. And they saying that the budget deficit is 1,564 billion. That's right there. I don't know what that's there. Now, we're going to go to the right side of this. Then we got the United States federal tax revenue. Now, they are in the green, are pulling out 4.6 trillion. That's the tax revenue, right? Then you got income tax revenue. I mean, this is United States federal tax revenue. So the most of our taxes is supposed to be going federal, but it's not going to the federal government. It's going to the Federal Reserve because that's who the debt is owed to. Then you got income tax revenue, payroll tax revenue, total state revenue, total local revenue, corporate tax revenue, tariffs. Tariffs is what they tax other countries from doing import and export. State debt, 1.2 trillion. Local debt, 2.3 trillion. Then you got the GDP, gross domestic product, is at 25.9 trillion. So if we could swap, listen at this. So they pulling in 25.9 trillion, but they're in the red 31.5 trillion nearly. So if we could swap this out, America still would be nearly in debt about 7 trillion if the GDP could replace the debt. America would still be out. They would still be in the red about 7 trillion. It's right there. We can't make this stuff up. It's right here. They don't hide this stuff. They just know the average person ain't got time to look at this. But it gets even deeper. Because we go down. Now we got unfunded debt interest. United States total interest paid, 3.6 trillion. Interest per adult, $14,145. That's interest, right? Remember, we talked to you about compound interest almost all the time. You still ain't caught on to it yet, so you're paying it. Don't worry. The total debt of America is $93.7 trillion. Now, this is what they're showing us. Look at the bank interest received. So the banks are hitting us over the head with compound interest. They're hitting us over the head with compound interest. The bank's interest received, they're saying it's 565 billion, 0.9 billion. Right? Then you got the total personal debt, they saying it's 24.2 trillion. Bank interest paid. So they pulling in 565 billion on interest, but they only paying out 36 billion. Whoo, that means the bank's up in the red 500 billion off of interest. Man, please. If y'all don't see this scam for what it is, we gotta hit you. We gotta hit you with this because we're talking about warfare and currency, and we're talking about what Russia and China are doing. And Iran are doing. Major players in the world economy. Major players. So what is this going to lead to? But look at the credit card debt. 1.2 trillion. Student loan debt. $1.7 trillion. And you can go and read more Social Security. It got all of this on here. Now, we've been telling you that taxes are a scam. We found a video that showed us, and it ain't black folks talking. There's a few black folks on there, but most of them are Caucasian. Because we don't like to listen to nothing come from us. So we're going to play this video before we get to our main topic tonight. So we want you to see this clip. Because I've been telling you taxes are a scam. We've been telling you to get involved in crypto for multiple reasons. All right. Why? Because you want to be in control of your money. You don't want to be paying this interest on the debt. You should want to be in somewhere the interest can be paid to you. But as long as you do that, I want y'all to see this. Let me blow this up. Look, bank interest. That's $565 billion. $991 million in this county going up. That's compound interest. That's compound interest, family. That's what they're getting. Now they only paying out $36.3 billion. They say total personal debt is $24.2 trillion. Student loan debt, $1.7 trillion in counting. Debt per citizen. So debt per student. So every college student is in debt nearly $40,000 minimum. Minimum. Credit card debt, $1.2 trillion. This is deep. Bank holders, we can go over the history of the banking system. And we can look at all of this. We did this not that long ago. Bank of North America, the Currency Act, Benjamin Franklin. Everybody want the Benjamins, right? That's the president. That's the one with the on the $100 bill, right? Benjamin Franklin, right? Everybody want the Benjamins. It's all about the Benjamins, right? William Patterson, the Currency Act, Bank of North America, James Madison, Mayor Armstead Rothschild, one of the founders of Rothschild. This is the father of Rothschild. This father Rothschild, founding father of international finance. Let me issue and control a nation's money, and I care not who makes its laws. That's 1790. Hey, y'all know we were slaves, right? 1791, the first bank of the United States, 20-year charter, 80% privately owned central bank, debt-based money system killed by Congress in 1811, 20 years later. Then it go on and on and on. We can go all the way. Bretton Woods, look at this. We can track the timeline. So we would come back next month, and next week, and I think we were supposed to go over all of this. And we're going to go over the history of banking. And we're going to go over all those details. So you want to come back next Tuesday. You want to come back next Tuesday, right? Because the power of the Zionist Jew is the banking system. The last slave master we got to get rid of is the Jew, per what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has taught us over and over and over and over again, but we will not listen. And I'm not talking to members in the Nation of Islam. I'm talking to the whole black nation, because the minister is the head of the whole black community. Make no mistake about it. We haven't listened, period, to what he has said about these bankers. So you come back next week, and we're going to go over this whole information. We're going to go over everything written here about the history of the banking system. Yes, it's exposure time. The war of Armageddon, it has begun. It is here now. And that's why you want to be in Savior's Day. You want to be in Chicago, or you want to tune in February the 26th, February the 25th, all right? Sunday, February the 25th, you want to tune in. Either you want to come to Chicago, or you want to tune in to NOI.org, NOI.org, so you can hear the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan break down this war Armageddon. It's survival time. It is wartime. You better stop playing. You better stop just living paycheck to paycheck. All you ones that's partying, it's time for you to get serious. It's time for you to buckle down. It's time for us to unite and come together. Playtime over with. We got to stop the killing. We got to stop the drug use, the abuse. We got to stop a whole lot of stuff, because the war Armageddon is coming. It is almost here. We at the brink of it. And this article and this title, this topic, what we're going to talk about today, is going to be more in line and showing that it's here. So, but before we do that, like promised, we want to show you this video about the banking scam. Don't listen to me. Well, let's listen to ex-politicians. Let's see what they say about taxes, about the tax scam that's connected to the banks. And next week, we're going to deal with the history of the banks from the United States Debt Clock website. We're going to go over all of it, starting from 1100 all the way to 1999. We're going to go over it. Every article, every quote, we're going to go over it. Next Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Business is Warfare. You're coming here. We're excited. We crunk because why? Hey, I was listening to a lecture from the minister today that he did back in 1997 when I was 16 years old and I was running in the streets. All right. I was in and out of jail, in and out of prison, running through the streets, selling dope, robbing, doing all the stuff. That's why you don't never hear me condemn people in the streets, because I just was doing that a couple years ago. All right. So I don't do that. I'm not self-righteous. All right. I know where I come from, and that's why I never go back to that. All right. Because I have seen the other side of the life. I have been transformed. I have been what they call resurrected because I met Jesus, the Savior. Jesus. I've met him. I know him. You feel what I'm saying? I'm a follower and a student of him. And I'm not talking about no man from 2,000 years ago, because a man from 2,000 years ago can't do a damn thing for me. He ain't even come to black people. Woo, man, I know I'm going to lose some of y'all. I know I'm going to lose some views behind that. I'm going to lose some subscribers, but it is what it is. The Jesus from 2,000 years ago did not even go to black people. Woo, that's some hard truth. See, listen, America wasn't even established, so it's impossible that he came to us over here. That's why 75% of what you read about in your Bible is prophetic. It did not happen back yonder. It is happening now. You are witnessing of it. When you hear a black man in America telling you about he has been saved, but is still a warrior, still a soldier. Ain't no punks in the nation. The FOI, we don't play that. But we love our people. So we will take whatever we have to take from you, because we come to save you and to impart truth to you so you can change your life. We don't come to destroy you. But that don't make us punks. That don't make us soft. That make us exercising love for you. That's what that show, love for you. Because most of us just came out of the street thug lifestyle, the gangster lifestyle, and would have killed most of us for anything. But now we have been saved, so now we're trying to give life and not destroy life. This is just what we're trying to do. So we take all the stuff from y'all, burning up the paper, throwing the paper away, joking on us, cracking on us, laughing at us, talking about the most honorable Muhammad, talking about the minister, talking about Master FARD Muhammad, just talking about stuff you don't know nothing about, you hear the enemy talk about, right? We deal with all of that, and we take it with a smile. We take it. Why? Because we know you don't know no better. We know you don't know yourself, because if you knew yourself, you would never disrespect your other self, which is me, us. Why would you disrespect me for trying to bring you a black international newspaper? You can't say you don't mess with Muslims because you get gas from Muslims every day, all day. You ain't just, if you're a Christian, you ain't just buying gas from Christians. No, you probably don't never buy no gas from Christians. Everywhere you buy gas from Hindus and Muslims, you buying gas from. And you don't know nothing about Hindu. You don't know nothing about that. You don't know who their God is and what they worship. They'll worship anything. They'll worship themselves. They'll worship a stick, a pole, a snake, the sun. They don't care. All right? So we know you don't know. So you can say, I don't deal with Muslims, I don't Christian. Yeah, you just tell us that because we black. You don't deal with black. You don't want to spend your money with black folks. That's what you're saying. That's really what you're saying. Why? Because you tell us that and go straight to the corner store and go get a blunt from the Arabs. What you think their religion is? But anyway, the time must come, family. The time must come. All right. So with that being said, family, let us get to this video about the tax scam, and then we're going to get right into our article. Take a look. Listen carefully and listen with an open mind. I didn't put this video together. Somebody sent this video to me. I just went and got it. But we finna play it right here tonight.
There is no law. And to date, nobody has been able to show that there is a law for the average American citizen working day in and day out to pay an income tax.
But We the People Foundation for Constitutional Education put a full-page ad in the USA Today on July 7th, 2000. And within the body of that ad was a $50,000 challenge for anyone that could show the law. And to me, $50,000 is a lot of money. So I went after that and did the research based on the fact that I thought, let's put this baby to bed. I'm hearing all these rumors. I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. I'll answer these people's questions that are asking me, and then I'll win this $50,000. And, based on the research that I did throughout the year 2000 and that I'm still doing, I have not found that law. I've asked Congress. We've asked a lot of people in the IRS commissioners, helpers. They can't answer, because if they answer, the American people are going to know that this whole thing is a fraud.
There is no law. There is no law that requires the average American worker in the private sector to pay a direct, unapportioned tax on their labor and compensation for services. There is no law.
I really expected that, of course, there's a law that you can point to in the law book, the code that requires you to file a tax return. Of course there is. Maybe I don't know what it is right then as he was speaking to me, but sure. So naively, I agreed to go off and research it and get back to him. 3.5 months later, I was at that point where I couldn't find the statute that clearly made a person liable, at least not me and most people I know. And I had no choice in my mind except to resign.
I had to leave the IRS because I presented evidence that I had accumulated indicating that the agency was violating the law and violating people's rights. And I asked the agency for a response to my sincere concerns. And the answer I got was that they would not respond to my concerns and that they would provide me with the paperwork necessary to tender my resignation.
You can look through the statutes and look for the law that requires you to pay. And when you do that, you can't identify a law that requires the average person in America who earns a wage and works in private business to pay an income tax.
American citizens, along with the foundation, have been asking the IRS to specifically provide them with the underlying legal foundation upon which they administer and enforce the personal income tax laws in our country.
At the national level, when people would attempt to contact somebody of a much higher authority, say the commissioner, same kind of thing. They would get answers that were in effect non-answers.
You have to understand that an agency which will unlawfully impose a tax that doesn't exist is not going to care. If we, the people, don't know what our rights are, they're not going to tell us.
If Americans just learned that the IRS was actually knowingly deceiving them, that would be enough for them to rise up and put a stop to it.
100% of what is collected is absorbed solely by interest on the federal debt. All individual income tax revenues are gone before 1 nickel is spent on the services taxpayers expect from government. People have been told, that you need this income tax system to fund government, which is absolutely ridiculous. My question is, well, if that's true, how did we fund government from 1776 to 1913?
The main purpose of the income tax is not to raise revenue, but to redistribute wealth and to control society.
A lot of people might say, well, gee, if there wasn't an income tax, what would happen to education? They don't understand that education is paid for the most part, out of state and local taxes, your property tax. People might say, well, how are we going to build and maintain our highways? If there's no money coming into the government, we need our highways. There is a tax on every gallon of gasoline that people buy. Proceeds from the income tax do not pay for highway construction.
I believe that in both spirit and substance, our tax system has come to be un-American. Death and taxes may be inevitable, but unjust taxes are not.
This small booklet includes the Constitution of the United States, the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence. This is a document that every citizen should read. It's a document which freed an entire nation. This is the Internal Revenue Code, and this document, and the unlawful application of this document by the Internal Revenue Service has enslaved the nation that this document attempted to free.
All right, family. So you saw it there now. Now you can debate that all you want to. You can defend the government. You can defend the Zionist Jew all you want to. It don't matter, family. It is here now. So before we get into this, 2 books that I want y'all to get. We're going to highlight 2 books that I want you to get to understand the banking system. And what we're talking about tonight, you need to get this book here. It's called The Fall of America. Wrote by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad it was published in 1973. 2 years before his departure, this book was published. And in this book, he talks about the final war, and he talks about the fall of the Western powers' monetary system. He said, quote, when America and England and America went off the gold standard, the gold and silver standard, that their financial doom was sealed. It's the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, the most misunderstood black man to ever grace this planet, is him. This is what he wrote in this book here that you can go get. 50 years ago. 50 years ago this year. 50 years ago, he wrote this book foretelling us what we are witnessing and what we are living and seeing right now. And I'm going to prove the connection. He told us that the final war was going to take place in East Germany. We're going to come back to that. You hold that thought. All right. Now, if you want to learn about the banking system and how the Jews have control over the black American economy, then you have to get this book titled The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews, Volume 2. You have to get this book. You have to get this book for you to even understand a damn near mustard seed of what the control of the Zionists and how they have it with the banking system. You need this book, family. You need it. All right. You need that book. We're going to come back to the fall of America after we read this first article. And we're not going to read it all. We're just going to go to let you know that this is hot topic news that is here right now. That is here right now. So this is from international news, international business. All right. That this is being talked about. International business. Russia and Iran have produced a gold-backed stable coin. That's crypto. So we know it's crypto because they call it a stable coin. Cryptos have, so this is International Business Times. This was put out today at 3:45 a.m. today. All right. So in an attempt to eradicate trade transactions in fiat currencies, y'all got to listen because this thing getting hot. Russia is working with several countries to launch a stablecoin backed by the global monetary asset gold. But this move could reportedly pave the way for the establishment of a new global economic order. The co-founder of the Indian financial service company, Zerodha, sounded the alarm about this undertaking led by Russia and Iran and noted that if this trend picks up, then it could establish a new global economic order. Now, Also, the Most Honorable Muhammad told us back then that gold was going to be the new medium of exchange. This is what he said. So now they talking about a gold-backed crypto, and you got other people that's supposed to be experts on this. They saying that this could set up a new global economy, a new global economic order. Man, you got to pay attention to the signs now. Woo-woo. There ain't nothing that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad has told us, nothing that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has reminded us that he told us that you can prove to be a lie or inaccurate. Islam is mathematics and mathematics is Islam, and we can prove it at no limit of time. I'm going to say that again. Islam is mathematics and mathematics is Islam, and we can prove it at no limit of time. Nothing that the Most Honorable Muhammad has told us that can't be proven. That he said was going to happen, and it is either happening or it's happening. You better believe it. Why? Because he taught by the supreme being. He wasn't no little Negro leader, political leader. This man was commissioned by God. This man was Jesus. All right. So this company, Zerad, is the largest, most popular, and technological advanced stockbroker in India that works on a low margin, high volume model that allows the company to charge a very minimum amount per transaction due to its generally high traded volume. Iran and Russia to issue a new stable coin backed by gold. Damn, if this picks up, could be day one, event one of an establishing a new economic order everywhere. Why? Because it's gold. Remember the clip we played from the minister earlier? That was from 1998 when he was in the green. He said, what if the Islamic world was to back their currency by gold? That would break the back. He said that would break the back. No idea why it's getting no oxygen from the global press. This what he tweeted. Why they ain't getting no press from why they ain't getting no oxygen? Why the West ain't talking about it? The transnational country, while still knee deep in its military exercise in Ukraine, is trying to clear platforms for cross-border settlements using gold-backed stablecoin, Russia news agency TASS reported. The move is definitely not new and could be the product of the sanctions imposed by the superpowers on Russia following its invasion of Ukraine. Iran, a country also facing multiple sanctions from the superpowers and currently facing ongoing civil disobedience from its citizens through its central bank, is working with Russia to develop a token of the Persian Gulf region that would act as an acceptable form of payment for foreign trade. And there go the Russians and the Iranian political heads shaking hands. Alexander, executive director of the Russian Association of Crypto Industry and Blockchain, said the token to be issued is in the form of a stable coin backed by gold. This said stable coin is planning to be used in a special economic zone where Russia opened up for Iranian cargo shipments. We offer mutually acceptable tokenized instruments that will be used on these platforms, which are essentially clearing platforms that we are currently developing with these countries. Stable coins can be pegged to some generally recognized instrument, for example, gold, the value of which is clear and observable for all participants, Russia's deputy finance minister said. However, the joint stablecoin project would only be possible if Russia fully regulates the digital market, which may soon come true since the Russian lower house of parliament promised to begin regulating cryptocurrencies this year. The greatest irony of all of this, of it all, is that both Iran and Russia prohibited their residents from using assets like bitcoins and stable coins like Tether for payments, but it looks like both countries have been working behind the scenes so a gold-backed stable coin would be accepted for foreign trade. Woo-woo! This thing is getting hot and deep. So, from reading that, this thing is finna roll out. So it's only one step that they saying before they roll it out. In Russia, they saying Russia got to regulate their market in crypto. Well, they are communists. They dictators, so they can do that. They know how to do that or whatever, right? But they stop. They put it out that their citizens can do it, but you can't really stop crypto like that. So what is this gonna do? This is gonna explode into World War III. Now y'all know why do the United States don't like Iran? It's because of Israel. Israel want to move on Iran because that will make Israel the power in that region over there in the east, in the Middle East. See, as long as Iran is there, then Israel is not the power. They have to deal with that. And they can't take out Iran by themselves. They got to use the West and NATO to try to do it. So they've been always encouraging. They try to get Obama to do it. But nothing, they can't really make a false flag that cause them to attack Iran. But Israel want them to attack Iran because Iran does have nuclear development. And they don't want nobody out of the Muslim world in the Middle East to have any nuclear development. They took out everybody else. They took out Libya. They took out Somalia. They took out Afghanistan. They took out Iraq. They took out Yemen. They took them out, family. Iran is the last one that they have to take out in that area. But this is Israel. Israel in the east is really this Israel here. They control this. Make no mistake about it. Israel is ran by the Zionists. They're not ran by Orthodox or Messianic Jews. They are ran by Zionist Ashkenazi Jews. That's Israel. All right? Israel run America from over there. But check it out. That's going to get deep. So Iran is hard on the list, and Russia is on America's list because Russia is the superpower, and Russia keep beating their chest, telling America to bring it on. They calling America out. Now, Russia got it in for America because of the Civil War, the Soviet War, that happened, the Cold War, as they call it, where America used the Afghanistans to take out the Russian government. But Russia has got their power back now. Russia got their money right now. Russia got their army right now. So they ready for the war. They ain't forgot. Y'all think they forgot? But check this article here out though. Now, remember we was talking about Germany. Check this out. Now, I want y'all to catch this and follow this now. This is going to get serious. All right? Because if America go to war with Russia, it ain't good for us. Russia, this is serious. Now, I'm going to see, can y'all hear this? Well, you can't really hear Vladimir Putin, so you're going to have to read the words because he's speaking in Russian. But the words and what he's saying, this is the president of Russia, as we know, right? So let's hear him. Let me mute myself so it won't be an echo. And let's hear what Vladimir Putin has to say. But try to read the words and let me get that off the screen too. Try to read the words so y'all can follow what he's saying. All right? Check it out. He talking, he woofing. Woof, woof. Woof, woof. Yeah, America ain't nothing but some cowards, man. They pick on these little nations. Yeah. They don't want it with Russia or China. But listen at what he said, though. Let me mute myself.
Несколько важных, очень важных слов для тех, у кого может возникнуть соблазн со стороны вмешаться в происходящее событие. Кто бы ни пытался помешать нам, а тем более создать угрозы для нашей страны, для нашего народа, должны знать, что ответ России будет незамедлительным и приведет вас к таким последствиям, с которыми вы в своей истории еще никогда не сталкивались. Мы готовы к любому развитию событий. Все необходимые в этой связи решения приняты. Надеюсь, что я буду услышан.
Now you heard what he said, right? You seen what he said. You read what he said, right? So he's talking real strong, and he's saying that anybody that try to interfere with they and what they're doing and try to hurt the Russian government and the Russian people, he said that Russian response will be immediate. He said, I hope y'all hear me. Who y'all think he talking to? He is talking to NATO and America. He not talking to China, Iran, them his allies. He talking to the superpower, Russia. He talking to America. But check this out though. It gets deep because when you get in the comments, the real fly on Twitter, this is what he tweeted. Check this out. State Deputy Lieutenant General, as soon as German tanks, listen now, why I say German. Y'all hear this? See, because that whole fight there is Russia is connected with Germany because East and West Germany don't like each other. All right? Now, the Most Honorable Muhammad, through the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, has reminded us that the final war is going to take place in Germany. So American soldiers are going to get deployed to Germany. And the Most Honorable Muhammad said they're going to go in the hundreds of thousands and come back in the teens. And while this war is taking place, the dollar will collapse. And when the dollar collapses, the government comes down right behind it. So teaches the Most Honorable Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. This is not me. But listen what this dude say. The real fly. He said as soon as German tanks appear on Russian territory, German tanks, Russia will have no choice but to announce a general mobilization. Now remember, one part of Germany is split. You got East and West Germans. They don't like each other. They split. But NATO is cool with one side of them, and Russia is cool with the other side. Man, this thing gonna get deep, man. This thing gonna get deep, family. Then they go in down into it, and he go further. German tanks is a clear violation of the World War II Materialization Pact. So that's a clear violation of that pact. So Russia gonna respond. So what does that mean for us? If Russia respond on them, America's gonna get in it. Because America's ally, because one part of Germany is in NATO. They got to respond. You got to know the war machine. So America got to go over there. It ain't going to get fought over here. It's got to go over there. And it ain't going to get fought in Russia. And y'all know Russia got a strong air attack too, right? Y'all do know this, right? So listen, family. So we just wanted to share that with you. But before we go, we just showed you how this is what's going on. We told you German. So how did this connect? Well, this is what the Most Honorable Muhammad told us. This is what the minister reminded us. And we're going to leave you with a clip of the minister reminding us about this. And he has also reminded us that when the dollar falls, and it's going to fall in this final war, the government of the United States is going to fall right behind it. So what is that saying for us, family? Get prepared. Stop wasting your time. Stop overlooking the signs, because in your Bible, or in the Bible, it talks about the coming of the Son of Man. And it talks about how in the days of Noah, in the days of Lot, what the people were doing. Now, when you read in the Bible, in the Holy Quran, and they talk about what those people were doing, and they got destroyed when the judgment came because they was partying, all right? They was having orgies. This is what they was doing. And when the death angels came and death and destruction came, they got wiped out because they did not pay attention to the sign and they did not follow their messenger prophet at that time. So a lot of people didn't get on the ark with Noah, so they drowned. A lot of people wasn't following Lot, so nobody outside of Lot, 2 daughters, survived that destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. Lot's wife didn't even survive. So his wife was caught up in whatever the Sodom people was doing. Ooh, this thing get deep. So listen, you still have a window. It ain't just here yet, but it's coming. So we're going to leave you with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan talking about this final war and where it's going to take place at. This is from a lecture in 1996. You can go and hear the whole lecture on YouTube, and it's titled, I'm going to tell you the title. It is titled, The Divine Destruction of America. Can she avert it? In 1996, that he did at the headquarters Mars Marion in Chicago, Illinois, 1996. We just going to play a clip of him talking about the final war, and then we're going to end. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't forget to come back next week so you can hear that full breakdown about the history of the world banking system that is controlling and running the world now, and why the blockchain is a disruptor. As we heard and read in that article about this gold-backed cryptocurrency, why they're using crypto. So that ought to let us know, if enemies of the West is talking about a gold-backed crypto to circumvent transactions and all that, that should clear any way for us to think that the government or the Zionists or the international bankers control every cryptocurrency that's out there. It's the blockchain that they don't control. Yes, they can have some control over some cryptos, but they don't control the blockchain, because these vast cryptos that's out here, they operate on these decentralized blockchains that are open source. No one person controls them. No one institution controls them. All right. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. See y'all back here in the morning for a crypto morning. And y'all don't want to miss that. Hey, listen, this is what it is. Survive, survive, survive. So how do you survive? Well, find a way to get out of dollars. Do not hold dollars. Do not hold cash. Do not hold cash. Do not hold cash. Find a way to turn your cash into something that's going to be used when all this take place, because this ain't going to be it. This is not going to be used. All right. Make sure you got plenty of drinking water stored in your home. Make sure you got non-perishable food stacked up to last you for at least 3 months to 6 months. So you want to just be safe, on the safe side, have enough food and water to last for at least 6 months. Some people might tell you a year. But the last time the minister warned us about that, he told us 90 days. So I'm just going to put another 90 days on top of that to be safe. The Messiah told us to get ready and make sure we got enough stored for 90 days. But I'm going to say at least 6 months to a year, you need to be straight, where you got enough drinking water and you got enough food that you don't have to cook, that won't perish, that you don't have to use a microwave, have to use a stove, nothing. You're going to need it. We're going to need it. And he also told us, when you do it, don't let nobody know you got it. He also told us that. So don't be on these phones talking about what you got to your neighbor, to your family members. Tell your family members to get prepared So they won't have to call you. Why? Because you're not going to be able to go to Walmart and get a meal. You're not going to be able to go to Publix, Whole Food. You're not going to be able to go to Walmart and get a burger. McDonald's and get a burger. You're not going to be able to do none of that. That's coming to an end. And you're going to have to be locked in your home. So you want to get along with your family members. You want to set it up. You want to have books. Make sure you got lighting. There's all this stuff here. We might be in a blackout. You never know. But get prepared and prepare to survive. Because when it all hit the fan, America's going down and we are in America. So the only thing we can think about is surviving. It's surviving. That's what you get prepared for. So that's what this message was all about. Teaching us to survive. All right? That's what it is. That's what we do in FARD Money Network. We are products of the Messiah. We are coming out of the Joshua. We are part of the Joshua generation. So we are going to warn you directly from what the Messiah has warned us, whether you like it or not. Okay? Whether you like it, whether whoever don't like it, we don't even care. It don't matter. This is our duty, our responsibility, because we know that the minister is the Messiah. We know this. We know this. We know he don't lie. He's the best thing for us, the best thing going. He is the guide. So this is what he has said. And this what this topic, this breaking news is going to produce World War III. So you, me, we have to think survival. Period. Period. Don't listen to nobody try to tell you like everything just going to be peaches and cream, all of this. See, that's another reason why we in FARD Money Network, we don't give 2 cents about the government, because we know the government of the United States is not going to be in power for much longer. See, you can listen to old timers and folks who are afraid. Y'all don't remember the story in the book of Exodus in the Bible? Y'all remember Moses was ready to go to war with Pharaoh them for the people, for the children of Israel, but the elders of Israel was like, no, chill out, Moses, no. So they said, we're going to let them die out. So it's still some of those old heads among us that don't want it with the government and still are afraid of the government. So they worry about taxes and they worry about what they're going to do about this and all of this here, because they ain't met the other power that's in the world right now. That power that is in the world right now is Master FARD Muhammad, and he has given that power to the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. They are present right now. Yeah. That's why when the minister say, watch the weather, it happened. The minister say something, it happens. Why? Well, because he's guided from up on high. And this ain't no spooky nothing. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad is alive, just as alive as me talking to you right now. He is not dead. The minister challenged the world in 1981 to dig up, but that was only 6 years after the most honorable Elijah Muhammad was supposed to have been dead. The minister challenged the world to dig up the body and prove that that was the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And he will stop preaching. That was in 1981. That was 41 years ago, family, 42 years ago. And nobody accepted the challenge. So you can talk that trash all you want. We got receipts. We got documentation that those very people you afraid of, they don't want it with us. Why you think they won't come to a dialogue? Why you think they won't even come to an open debate? Why they won't bring their scholars to sit down and have a debate, a dialogue with our scholars? When we tell you that the Nation of Islam is backed by the supreme being, that's who Master FARD Muhammad is, you think it's a spook. God is a man. Always has been, always will be. Allah is a man. Your Holy Quran tell you that. I could just open it up and go straight to a scripture where the Quran tell you Allah is a man. Chapter 55 is Muhammad Ali verse, translation. Chapter 55 entitled The Beneficent. The Beneficent. Chapter 55 verse 27. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent and Merciful. The Holy Quran reads like this. And there endures forever the person of thy Lord, the Lord of glory and honor. Let me read that again, because I know some of y'all hear this for the Muslims. All right? And it's for anybody that think that Muslims, because a lot of Orthodox Muslims and Sunnis and Shia, they believe in the spook Allah too, not the nation. That's why they don't want to sit down with us either. They don't want to with us. The minister went to Mecca and dealt with that in the early 80s. I mean, in the late 80s, man. He dealt with that, went to Mecca and beat up all these scholars, man. You had the top Buddha sheikh over there. Tell the minister, gave the minister his cloak and his staff. We got the receipts. We got the documentations. The minister gave him his cloak. He gave the minister his cloak and his staff. And guess what he told the minister? I pray for you 500 times per day. The Buddha sheikh is the highest sheikh in the Islamic world. So don't let nobody tell you they ain't real Muslims, man. Please, if we ain't real Muslims, ain't no damn real Muslims on the planet then. Everybody faking then. So don't look to the east. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said that who this book was revealed to, who the Muslim world claimed to be followers of. Prophet Muhammad said that 3 generations after him, them Muslims would not be of him. That's what he said. All right. So he's talking about them Muslims over there now. They ain't of him. They don't believe there ain't no God but Allah, because when the West called, Saudi Arabia bow down. Saudi Arabia in bed with the West, with the Satan, with the dragon, with that snake, that old serpent. Yeah, called the devil, called Satan. Boy, when you understand scripture, boy, life is a lot more easier and a lot more fun, because this is happening now. This is happening. It's all in the book of Revelation, all that too. All right. But listen, this is a reality of God moment right here. In the Beneficent, chapter 55, this is verse 27, it says, in there, endures forever the person of their Lord, the Lord of glory and honor. And we ain't even got to go to the Bible, because all through the Old Testament is teaching you that Allah, that God is a man. All through that book. Jehovah was a man, the one that met Moses. Abraham, God in the Bible, was a man. Jesus, the Father, that's a man. So we ain't got to deal with that. All right, that's there. You just don't want to believe it because the enemy put us on spook land while they got us believing in a God that's supposed to be on a cloud some damn well. All right, they exercising God power right in our face and have become our God. Oh yeah. While we believing in that, we worshiping them and bowing down to them. Yeah, we going to them for everything. That's why you pray. When you pray to talk about you want to get that job, well, you hoping that your God touches the heart and the mind of that boss that to give you a job so you can make a money for yourself. Man, we in the nation, hey, listen, man, we talk about the Messiah and his Christ, man, Allah in person, man. Man, no righteous woke up man, elevated man, resurrected man, original man, asks another man for no damn job. Man, we get up and make one our damn self. Yeah. All you got to do is learn how to sell a product. The easiest way to make a job, learn how to sell. Man, please. Listen, so we're going to leave you with words from the Messiah, from the Jesus in our midst. You've been looking for him. You've been asking for him. You've been praying for him. Well, he here. He been here. And you can see him live and in person. February the 25th. And his topic, his subject, is the war Armageddon has begun. You want to tune in. If you don't come to Chicago and see him yourself, you better get the link and you better go to the website, www.noi.org, and find him on YouTube. Find him, and you better sit down with your family and you better listen to what he's about to say. Because after he delivers that message, all right, you have been warned. Pay attention. Thank y'all, family. We out here. Assalamu alaikum.
He said, America is gone. Her money is gone. There's no more silver, no more gold. After a while, she may ask for copper. The money is worthless. Right now, the money has no value. This used to be a silver certificate that used to say, pay the bearer on demand $1 in silver. You can't get silver for it anymore. You can't get gold for it. It is the wealth of the country that's holding up the dollar. He said, soon you'll see money piled and burning in the streets. There will be another medium of exchange not coming from this country. He said, I warn you because I love you. Now listen to these words. She will fight and continue to fight. He mentioned Vietnam and other areas of Asia. But the last fight will be in East Germany, and there she will be destroyed. Now I want you to stop with me a minute. I want to talk about East Germany. That's why I asked them to show you the wheels.
Yes, sir.
Because I've also asked Allah to send them over here.
Yes, sir.
Just to confirm what I've said today.
Yes, sir.
That the man that I'm representing to you, those two men, they are the masters of the wheels.
Yes, sir.
Doesn't even look like a plane, does it?
I don't know what this is, but whatever it is not a plane, and it's just moving fast.
I'm telling you, those aren't planes.
Hey.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah.
UFO, you got it. You got
I'm
it.
recording right now. I'm recording. Look.
UFO over Southside. Hey, yo, what the fuck is that?
See how it's moving?
Nobody else looking at this? No, nobody else see this?
I'm getting it.
UFO! UFO motherfucking oh!
Get the fuck out of here! That is a UFO, y'all.
Hey, what? Hey, we don't have that stop in mid-air. We don't have that stop in mid-air.
UFO. It's still there.
It is not a helicopter. Helicopters don't maneuver like that. Now it's going back up. Look it, it's going back up.
When I close down in the garden,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
the God will do some work.
Yes, sir.
Not no lantern, bro. That defies logic.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. It looks like a damn UFO.
Why is it supposed to? Where's it going?
I know I'm not tripping. Outside my window.
Una especie de objetos voladores no identificados, llámense ovnis, cambiando de colores. Son 5.
Yeah.
Que porra é isso, hein?
Eu sei.
Não, drone não?
É não, na altura dessa. Tá vendo?
Vai acabar é o mundo aí, viu? Essa cadeira danada, velho.
Tem uma luzinha piscando, ó.
UFO 啊，是什么东西啊？这个是怎么在跑啊？
I would like to see at least 100 millionaires among the Muslims in Chicago. If you're rich, I'm rich. And I can always come and tell you about the needs of a nation. But if you poor and we poor, we can't be around here poor.